So it's barely been a few months since Apple released the Apple Watch Series 7, but we already have leaks about the Apple Watch Series 8 that is going to come all the way in September of 2022. Let's see what those leaks are all about and let's see what the Apple Watch could look like. Welcome geeks, you're watching iGeeks Blog. My name is Lakshay and let's get started with today's video. So since you're already watching this video, I know for a fact that you're going to enjoy every single leak that I give out to you guys. So why not hit that like button, press the subscribe button and hit that bell icon as well and turn on all notifications for our video. And first, let's quickly talk about the design of the Apple Watch Series 8. So of course, the screen is where a lot of rumors were pointed towards for the Apple Watch Series 7, not the 8, the Series 7. We were expecting a brand new redesign, some flat edges and whatnot for the Series 7, but of course that did not happen. So here we are looking again for Apple Watch Series 8 and of course life comes a full circle. We're again expecting the Apple Watch Series 8 to come with a massive redesign with those flat edges that we dreamed of for Series 7, but that still looks very unlikely. We've seen some new CAD leaks, some CAD renders of the Apple Watch Series 8 and it again looks like it won't have those flat edges. It is again going to retain the design of the Apple Watch Series 7. And of course, we know that when Apple does some redesign, when Apple changes something around, they tend to stick with it for a couple of years, not change it year on year. Apple is not Samsung. But yeah, so it seems like Apple Watch Series 8 could again retain the same design from Apple Watch Series 7. But one thing that's going to change, and that is according to display analyst Ross Young, is that Apple Watch could come in a new size. So we know that 41mm and 45mm were the case sizings for Apple Watch Series 7. And that could again retain with the Apple Watch Series 8, but there could be an addition of another new size for the Apple Watch Series 8. So the future looks really exciting for Series 8, but that's not it. Let's talk about some features that could land with the next generation of the Apple Watch, and let's start with blood glucose monitoring. Blood glucose monitoring is something that Apple has been working on for quite some time now. We've heard the rumors long ago that Apple has been working on this. This was also rumored to come in the Apple Watch Series 7, but of course that did not happen. The Series 7 was a bit light in terms of features, so we're expecting Series 8 to come very heavy on the feature side of things. And blood glucose monitoring is one very hot rumor that we're hearing about the Apple Watch Series 8. But of course, this is just a rumor. It may not land with the Series 8. It could come even further in the future. Another hot and exciting rumor we're hearing about the Apple Watch Series 8 is that it could come with a temperature sensor. Yes, you heard it right, a temperature sensor inside the Apple Watch Series 8, which could help us tell our body temperatures, let us know if we have a fever. And I think this, in this point of time, is a very much needed feature, but maybe not in the future, hopefully not in the future. We need it right now because of the entire COVID scene and everything. So a watch that tells us the temperature could be really helpful in the present, but I hope we do not need it too much in the future, but it's always a good thing to have. Now let's swing towards the Apple Watch of the future. Let's take a look at some of the patents that Apple has filed very quietly. Let's see what the Apple Watch of the future could look like. And the first one is biometric authentication. So Apple is working on some way to inculcate a way to authenticate your Apple Watch. Basically, they want to eliminate the need for passwords on the Apple Watch. They're planning to do this by fitting an IR thermal image sensor on the band of the Apple Watch that takes an image of your skin cracks, and basically it knows who the person is that's wearing the watch, so there's no need to enter passwords on the Apple Watch. One more feature that Apple has planned for the Apple Watch of the future is a self-tightening band. So remember Back to the Future when Marty McFly put on those shoes that had laces that did not need any sort of human intervention, self-lacing shoes? Well, that's something that Apple is going for with the Apple Watch. Imagine an Apple Watch in the future. You just take it, you put it on. The watch knows who you are, by the way, because of that biometric sensor we just talked about, and it ties itself on its own on your wrist. There's no need for you to fidget around with the band. It fits itself completely. It knows who it's on and fits itself properly. And if you're working out, the watch will loosen itself because it is a smart band on a smart watch. Another crazy innovation that Apple could possibly make in the future for the Apple Watch is that they could go for an LED indicator on the band of the Apple Watch. I mean, the band is now going to soon become a smart band and Apple is going to charge extra for the band, maybe, who knows. but this is something that they're going for. They want to inculcate an LED indicator on the band so as to show what the watch is currently doing, what the activity is all about. So if you're walking, if you're working out, if you're exercising, the band will have an indicator for just that. Now let's talk about what the Apple Watch Series 8 or this Apple Watch of the future could cost, and I am guessing somewhere around $399, or maybe Apple could charge a bit extra, so possibly around $400-450, which could convert to 40 to 45, maybe even 50,000 rupees in India. And of course, release date of the Apple Watch Series 8 is going to be September of 2022. But do note that all of these rumors are just rumors. Take them with a pinch of salt. They're not confirmed. What is confirmed is the Apple Watch is going to launch in September of 2022, no sooner than that. So please stay updated with us. Follow us on all our social media handles to know whatever new rumor drops in about Apple Watch Series 8. Subscribe to iGeeks blog if you haven't already. And that's been it. I'll see you guys in the next one.